Greetings everyone. Hope you're staying cool wherever you're at. It's getting pretty steamy around here, I can tell you that. Well, I want to remind you that Saved My Arse Part 3 will be coming out today or tomorrow. And I hope you enjoyed the first two parts, and I hope you're going to be able to see this. If you don't see it in your home feed, it means it's being blocked. So come by and visit the channel. Before getting into that, before completing that video, that study, I wanted to vent my spleen on something else. I've been watching, I don't know why, but I've been watching a stream from Dumb and Dumber, aka Graham Gould, and his sidekick Kevin Anderson. And it was late last night, and I was sleepless, and I thought if I put these two faux pious, well, at any rate, I thought it would help me sleep, so I put them on. And there they were teaching about Ephesians 1:14 and the earnest of the Spirit, and how this guarantees they're going to heaven because they have the earnest of the Spirit. The guarantee that they're going to heaven. That's what earnest means. No, guys. So sorry to throw the sand in the spiritual Vaseline, as it were, but that's not exactly what Arabon G728 means. It means an installment, it means a pledge. Paul uses this noun in a couple of locations in 2 Corinthians. I think it's chapter 1 verse 22 and chapter 5 verse 5. And it's talking about, again, the first installment, the proof, basically, that God is serious when He sent His Spirit and baptized you in the Spirit. That yes, this is the first fruits. This moving in the gifts of the Spirit, this reality of the Holy Spirit is really the first installment of a reality that's going to be fulfilled when you are finally purchased, when you are finally redeemed, when you've left this earthly realm here. But our friends Dumb and Dumber, Graham and Kevin, they eisegete into this word that gets translated earnest in 1:14, Ephesians 1:14. They translate that this is God's guarantee that now nothing can ever change. You're going straight to heaven. Okay, well, a lot of people have compared the earnest to what happens when you're purchasing a home. You put down a down payment as a guarantee, and the seller of the home takes it off the market because he's holding a certain percentage of the price, of the purchase price. But there are certain conditions. This is a contract between a buyer and a seller. And so that earnest money, if it turns out that, say, during a routine inspection of the home, that it's full of rats and also has mold and all kinds of infrastructure problems, well, that earnest money gets returned because the seller didn't honor his part of the contract. So an earnest, if we're going to use the analogy of home sales, or as Paul is basically saying, it's an installment of what's going to come later. It doesn't mean it's an unconditional installment. Of course not. Any more than it means, again, if it was a home buyer who put down a down payment to take the home off the market, it doesn't mean he's going to fulfill the rest of the contract if it turns out that there are serious defects in the home. And guess what? God is not obliged to honor the rest of the contract if it turns out there's serious defects with you, or if you walk away from the deal. No. He's entitled to get his earnest money back. And I would add, you haven't gotten the earnest in the first place. You can't describe your spirit baptism. And yes, there is such a thing as spirit baptism, and you haven't had it. So you never got the earnest in the first place, much less are you able to contend that since you have it, nothing can possibly change. So you're wrong on both counts, and you don't care. All right, let me end here before I start preaching. And again, look for Saved My Arse, Part 3, coming up soon. Have a good day, everyone.